Where do we even start, boys? Absolute horror show, as the title suggests, man. I mean, Manchester United 0, Liverpool 3. In a game that, listen, we started the game well. I mean, I'm trying to diverge myself between two things here, looking at the result as it is and looking at the result as an absolute disgrace in a game like that, where regardless of team's form and where each team is at, and we know as United fans right now we're at such a different stage in our process than obviously Liverpool are, despite obviously Liverpool's change of manager this season. But in a game like this, of this magnitude and this rivalry, you should never be getting embarrassed and never be getting just, olayed round the pitch. Happening a little bit too often now in the Ten Hag era, man, where teams are coming to Old Trafford and just being 3 or 4 up after 60 minutes and laying every pass. And the same thing with Sabozley. Like, he's an absolute twat for doing it. A lack of professionalism on his part. And I think even Liverpool fans would agree with that. But, he's 3-0 up, 60 minutes in. He's doing that, he's trying to be cocky with his finish, man. And they ends up backfiring on him. But it didn't matter. I think, starting off the game, I think the first 20 minutes, both teams had, I wouldn't say chances, but there was definitely, a flow to the game in the first 20 minutes. It absolutely flew by. And both teams we're getting into good areas. The game flew by and the game was flowing. Both teams were attacking with a lot of intensity and pace, which obviously we know what we are, that type of counter-attacking style of team, and Liverpool obviously are great on that side of things too. There could have been goals in the first 20 minutes of the game for both sides. I thought just the only thing that let both teams down in the first 20 minutes was the fact of final ball. The final decision making wasn't good on both teams. Because I don't think this is the most annoying thing. Liverpool weren't even that great in that game for me, at least half of it. The goal on the 35th minute changed things, and we'll get onto that in a second. But I think the first 20 minutes, as I say, both teams could have scored. Poor decision making in the final third let both teams down. Final pass just wasn't right. So that's why it was obviously still 0-0. 35th minute, man, I think it was Luis Diaz. I mean, Casemiro, listen, I love Casemiro. I've loved watching his career at Madrid all over the years. Delighted when we got him. He gave us a great first season, where he really, really was just, we all know Casemiro, he's never been the most mobile, but what he does is he covers space and he's intelligent. Obviously he has a great passing range and he reads the game so well. None of which he has done for us really this season, not last season, and certainly not in the game today, man. I mean, I think someone mentioned it in commentary, but might have been that guy Neville, but some things I agree with, some things I disagree with what he says, but I think he's spot on with his comment on that instance with Casemiro, because, I mean, for a player of his experience to give the ball away in such a bad area of the pitch, 0-0, just handing the initiative to Liverpool. And listen, our defence can't do anything to recover from that, because you give away, that's why the number 6 rule is so important in modern football, because you need to be so confident that if you're going to make a risky pass, it's going to go through and the pass is going to be successful. Because if it doesn't, as we've seen today, you've got a team like Liverpool that are ready just to press on you. They win that ball in our own defensive third, it's absolutely curtains for us if they play it right, and they did today. As I say, you're relying on, once Casemiro gives that ball away and it's sloppy, our whole midfield's out of the game. So you're relying on 4 Liverpool runners messing it up with a bad cross, a bad shot selection, or just doing something stupid. Because our defenders, we don't have enough defenders back then to cover how many Liverpool attackers are coming on to us. So yeah, the first goal, stupid mistake. Second goal again, yes, again, you can't look anywhere else other than Casemiro. As I say, 2 stupid mistakes, man. I mean, the second one, I thought it was actually a foul whenever I've watched it in real time, but then when you see it on the replay, it is nowhere near a foul, man. He's got to be much stronger there. He just seemed out in his feet. The player comes from behind him and you're just sitting there thinking, right, I thought in real time, because you see things in different in real time, and I thought, right, he's got to push there, that's a foul. Ref didn't give it, the goal scored, and I'm sitting there fuming thinking, what's the ref on? But the ref got it spot on. And, we have to diverge here. I can't just be a biased fan saying, we conceded a goal, it was a foul. It was nowhere near a foul. He's got to be so much stronger in that area of the pitch to, protect the ball. Yet again, another mistake cost us 2-0 Liverpool. And then, yet again, second half, Casemiro's off the pitch. Collier comes on. Mainu obviously makes the mistake for the third goal. And listen, I'm not going to go in on Mainu. He's a young player and we love him. He's done so much already in his young career, obviously representing England in the Euros over the summer and, really being an important element to our side. However, it's just so unlike him, that third goal. Yet again, another silly mistake. It's just not like Mainu, because despite being a young player, he has like this inner strength about him where you very rarely get to see him being pushed off the ball, shrugged off it. And listen, we know Mo Salah, despite being not the tallest player, we know he's got that strength to him, and when he's on the ball, it's very, very hard for defenders to push him off. And so Yeah, we know he's got that strength about him, man. But Mainu, it's very unlike him, because Mainu in those areas, not only is he great on the ball, but he's usually very, very. Not only is he great, he's very tidy in the ball a lot, but he's also very good at like shielding and protecting the ball and winning fouls. And there, it just seemed like Salah. It seemed very, very easy for Salah to win that ball, shrug him off the ball, and yet again, man, losing the ball. It's been a theme of this game: losing the ball in a bad area, and another goal is scored. And listen, I'll be honest, we watched the game. Liverpool could have had a few more. We very rarely threaten going forward. We threaten in terms of getting into certain areas, dangerous areas, but we never made the right decision. Whether it was a bad shot selection, a bad pass decision, just things let down. And it's just the big worrying thing is that, and this happened in the first 20 minutes as well, it's just the pace of the game was far, far too much for us as well. We got run through in the midfield countless times, some of which were punished, some of which weren't. So that's what I'm saying. It could have been way more than 3. And it's just so disappointing, man. I mean, we've got 3 points in 9 games now. We know we can easily lose this game, but I'm just so gutted the way we lost today, and in 2 elements. One, the fact that we've lost to Liverpool on stupid mistakes. We haven't even made them work for it. Liverpool fans will tell you, man, they haven't even had to work for that game today, because we've handed it to them on a plate with 3 mistakes, and 3 very similar mistakes. So that's one point. And the second point is, as I said at the start of this video, in a game where it's a rivalry against Liverpool, you should not be losing in that fashion, man. You lose the game on brilliance. If you're going to lose the game, you should lose it on other teams' attacking brilliance. But today, that did not need to happen, because we handed it to them, and we got outfought. And late in the game, you can see it. The players' body language is just off. Players taking shots and sulking, and the body language, just as I say, and the emotions was just. We're not expecting them to be happy, of course not, but they just, I don't want to say they gave up, but for some players it felt like they just, they lost heart, and it felt like I got 2-0 as well, man. It felt like I got 2-0 as well. It just felt like the game's lost. Rashford, I don't know how he stayed in the pitch, and we're not individualising this because it was a team performance. I think very, very minimal positives to this game. De Ligt looked very, very good. Very, very good. He was putting in a lot, because, as I said earlier, we got, put in those positions where we were run through in the midfield, and it's been a common theme, not just this season, last season as well. And hopefully Ugarte, get him in after international break. We've got Southampton away. He should start that game, and that should hopefully plug some of those gaps, man. Because of Liverpool running through us, as I say, De Ligt, Martinez did face many 1v1s, and especially De Ligt, he dealt with them super, super well, man. So, I think they're very unlucky, our centre-back partnership, to lose. We can see 3 goals in a game like this, but, you're always going to. As I say, the goals we give away, you can't pin it on the defence, because they've always lost into a dangerous area where you just can't recover. You're just hoping for Liverpool to mess it up, and they didn't today. So, just super disappointed, boys. Southampton after the break is a much, much, much needed win, and it's a must win. Ten Hag, we knew coming into the season the pressure was going to be heaped on him as soon as things start getting ugly, and it got ugly today. It really, really did. So let's see how we recover after the break. It needs to be a win, and we need to go on a run, because we've got Palace after that as well. We need to start stringing performances together as well as results. But right now it's results for a start, because right now we just cannot. 3 from 9 is just, it's shocking, really, especially considering we've had 2 home games as well. So Ten Hag, I don't know, man. Listen, that you boys know I've backed him the whole way, and I will continue to back him. I believe he'll get to Christmas to change these things around, but it is not looking good early on, and there's going to be this onset of pressure now that he needs to relieve, and the only way to relieve that, as we know, is winning football matches and playing well. It's it ain't looking good, boys. It ain't looking good, man. And there's just some things going on that I'm just sitting there thinking, what is he doing, man? I mean, Rashford, you heard the boos. The stress for him was on it today, man, and rightly so. Nacho coming off, so he brings Ahmad on, which, yes, that needed to happen. For me, Ahmad should have started. But okay, he brings Ahmad on. Who's he take off? He takes off Garnacho. He doesn't take off Rashford, and I like Rashford, and I think it's sad to see him the way he was today, where yet again he just is, void of all confidence, not taking on his man. At really anytime he picks the ball up in a 1v1, he goes back. It's a joy for a fullback playing against them, man, because he never takes them on. He never makes them run back towards their own goal and gives them an actual threat to deal with. So, I think Rashford. I really, really don't know him at this point. But it's not. I feel sorry for him too, because he's clearly not enjoying his football, and he needs to be taken out of that team. But still, Ten Hag chooses to start him, and then that's bad enough. But then he continues to keep him on the pitch when he's got an option to bring Ahmad on. He brings Garnacho off for Ahmad rather than Rashford off. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, boys. I am done with football for today, man. That is just, horrendous. Absolute horror show, as the title suggests. Get your comments in the chat, especially if you are United fan or Liverpool fan, and don't brag too much if you're Liverpool fans, because we did beat you last season in the Cup. Get your comments in, boys. I'll be reading them. I said I wasn't going to hide on yesterday's stream, regardless of today's result. So here we are, in very unfortunate circumstances for United fans, but drop your comments in the chat, regardless of who you support, especially if you're a Liverpool United fan. And I'll see you boys in the next one, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. We're going to be doing match reactions for all United games this season, as well as other football clubs as well. Expect a lot of Premier League and Champions League match watch-alongs this season as well. We did a load of those last year. You boys really enjoyed them, so we're going to bring them back this season as well. And they'll be back after international break. So get subscribed, drop a like on the video, and I'll see all you boys in the next one, man. Peace out.